Casanovians, alright lads, here we go. Daily live stream. Momentum, what to do if you've lost all your momentum. You should be having a harem of statuesque blonde bombshells. You shouldn't even need these streams. But instead, you sat there with your dick in your hands and you've lost momentum, yeah? So maybe you've come out of a divorce, maybe you've been in a long-term relationship, maybe you've been in a situationship, maybe it's the dead of winter right now, so you've not been as socially consistent as you would have liked to be. So here you find yourself on a glorious, what day are we on? Tuesday? Yeah, probably. A couple of days before Christmas, you're listening to this shite. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to give you my tried and tested blueprint for getting your momentum back again, regaining that mojo. Yeah, not slipping into these self-limiting thoughts like, oh, I've lost all my momentum. You end up romanticizing a former version of yourself sometimes. Like, oh, it was so much easier 5 years ago. So I'd say the first thing is don't romanticize your former glories. Yeah, if you've been out and you've cold approached in the past, maybe you've been married for the past 8 years, or maybe you're part of some weird situationship for the past couple months. I would say rather than romanticizing your former glories and thinking, I'm never going to be able to relive that, I would say just use that as evidence that you can get the results that you want. Yeah, so if you're someone and maybe you're approaching consistently in a former life and things were going well, and maybe you fell into the trap that so many guys do. When you first get a taste of cold approach success, especially if you started off like me, where I didn't have any female attention for a big portion of my life. And I think it's very easy for guys, when you get a taste of it, like when you start getting results, so cold approach conversations that are converting into dates and beyond, I think it's very easy to cash out too soon, yeah? So you might have fallen into the premature cash out trap, where you met a girl through cold approach, maybe she's the hottest girl that you ever met up to that point in your life, and you got a little bit too close, a little bit too clingy. Before you knew it, she'd moved in with you, you were a part of this relationship, and you're looking back at your decision now and you're thinking, yeah, she was good, but I feel as though I could do a lot better. This is what I say to the guys who I work with. I say, listen, dude, just stay single for the first year, because it's important that when you are first learning cold approach, you prioritize the skill and not the woman. You want to fall in love with abundance rather than a particular woman, because the quality of woman you're able to attract in the first couple months of you doing cold approach, 2 years down the line, dude, it's going to be night and day. Yeah? So I've worked with so many guys in their 30s, 40s, 50s, guys who came out of difficult divorces, guys who were in 10-year long-term relationships, guys who have families, guys who came out of that relationship and they hadn't just lost dating momentum, but they felt as though they'd lost a lot of life momentum. You know, if you're in a relationship or if you're married to somebody for a long time, I think it is easy, in my experience of working with guys like this, I think it's easy to lose yourself in the relationship and you start to get comfortable, right? You sink into the comfort quicksand of complacency. The years roll by, maybe you put on a little bit of weight, maybe you lose your edge. You're no longer the version of yourself that your woman fell for in the first place. So if that's you, if you're someone who's come out of a long-term relationship or you've come out of a divorce, I would say use this as your renaissance period. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can make the decision that these next 12 months are going to be the most spectacular of your life. Yeah, I remember I worked with this guy, we'll call him Jason, and he got in contact with me a couple of years back. And yeah, I remember when he got in contact with me, he'd just come out of a 10-year long-term relationship. He was a father of 2 children. And I remember the first consultation call we had, he was like, Christian, the dating landscape has changed so much. Like, he met his other half down the pub, you know, when that was normal. And he was like, everything's different now. There's Instagram, there's dating apps. Everything feels way more fast-paced. So he hadn't lost cold approach momentum, but he'd lost relationship momentum. You know, I think he'd lost a lot of confidence in himself when that relationship ended. He had these self-limiting beliefs that maybe he was too old now. I think he was about 33 at the time, and he was worried, oh, fuck, are my best years behind me? Am I ever going to be able to meet anybody else? This cold approach thing, it feels scary, it feels daunting. One of his limiting beliefs as well was that he was bald. So he was worried that the women weren't going to find him attractive because he was bald, and also because he was a father as well. This was a really interesting conversation we have for any guys who are fathers out there, and you think that is something that works against you. The reframe that I gave to Jason, which honestly changed the trajectory of his confidence, was I said to Jason, dude, the fact that you're a father, the fact that you've brought, or you are bringing up, 2 daughters, like that projects your proclivity as a protector to women. That's sexy. It's not a case of every woman's going to want to bang you because you've got kids. But I do think it displays a level of, what's that word? What's the word where it's on the tip, mate? It's on the tip. It displays a level of, like, you're in control of your life. Someone can leave that in the comments for me. I won't spend a long time on it, but it shows a level of, like, you're capable. Do you know what I mean? That you can take care of children. You can bring children into the world. So as soon as I said that, and also the thing about him being bald as well, he was, he was worried, oh, I won't be able to get women because I'm bald. I'm like, well, the thing that holds a lot of guys back, like, they have these insecurities in their mind, like, oh, I won't be able to get women, or I won't be able to regain momentum now because I've lost my hair, or I've got children, or fuck knows, I'm too short, or whatever the self-limiting belief is. Change happens so fast, because what happened with Jason, the first time he approached a woman in central London and she smiled, it just shattered his beliefs of what was possible, right? If you're in a car accident, your life is never the same again. The first time you deadlift 200 kg, that becomes your new normal. So with cold approach, the beautiful thing is, your entire dating life can change in a single approach, and you're only ever one approach away from everything changing. Yeah, this belief has always kept me rock solid. Whenever I'm going through difficult periods where maybe I've lost some momentum, maybe I've started to lose a little bit of faith in myself for whatever reason, what I've found is you only need one great approach to completely flip the switch. Yeah, so if you feel as though you've lost momentum right now, and it's been 6 to 12 months since you've even done an approach, you feel as though you've lost confidence in yourself, you're worried about being a beginner again, it's like, oh fuck, I already remember what it felt like to be a beginner, and I really don't want to have to put myself through the gauntlet all over again. I actually think restarting cold approach is harder, because you know the shit that you need to eat again. Like, when you're a beginner, you've almost got this rose-tinted view of cold approach. It's like, la-di-da-di-da, I'll go out, I'll approach, everything will go well. But when you've already put your balls through the social fire, if you were consistent with approaching, you already know the shit show that's in front of you. Flakes, rejections, undesirable outcomes. But you need that, do you know what I mean? I think you need to be a little bit fucked up in the head to enjoy cold approach. I think you have to be a little bit of a masochist, because you have to understand as well, dude, it is the most aggressive form of self-development out there. Like, when you can put yourself out there consistently, yeah, you're going to get rejected. Not every woman's going to want to bang you. It's a big process of ego death and getting yourself humble, but I owe my entire life to this process. I wouldn't be where I am today, financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, if it hadn't been for this modern day rite of passage. But I do think if you are restarting cold approach again, I do understand that can feel a little bit daunting, because you know what's in front of you. But the hidden advantage you've got over beginners is you have got evidence of you doing the thing, right? So you know you can do it. And I think what you'll find as well is you'll be able to regain momentum fast, as long as you do what I would call a hard reset. I should probably close the loop with what happened to Jason. So Jason's first ever day of coaching with me was one of the worst coaching that I've ever had. He rocked up in some weird cagoule. He looks like a homeless man, like a moderately dangerous homeless man. He was so depressed. He was wearing a flat cap because he was insecure about being bald. He was pissing it down in London as well. And we got to the end of the first day, abysmal first day. I was like, dude, we sat in a Cafe Nero, and he was like, how do you think I did? I was like, dude, no bullshit. That was one of the worst coaching days I've ever had. And he laughed, like, we had that type of banter going. But I was like, mate, tomorrow, you need to dress better, right? At the moment, you look homeless, dude. Like, what were you thinking when you put this on today? He's like, oh mate, like, because it's been so long, like, because I was in this 10-year long-term relationship, I feel as though I have let myself go a little bit. I feel as though I'm not taking care to take care anymore. So I gave him my suggestions of what to do, and dude, he came back that second day, and it was one of the greatest transformations I've ever witnessed. He came back, button-down shirt, no flat cap, owning who he was, which is basically how you overcome any insecurity is either fix it or feature it, right? If you're bald, either get a fucking hair transplant or own it. Yeah, go for the Jason Statham look and just own the living shit out of it. So yeah, he just owned it. He owned his identity the next day. Second day was much better. He started having conversations, started to get numbers. Like the first time he got a phone number through Cold Approach, that really demonstrated to him that he hadn't lost himself. Just because the relationship ended didn't mean his future had to. And then third day, just building on that. And then a couple months later, he cold approached a girl outside Russell Square Gardens in London. Beautiful, beautiful woman. And then she ended up becoming his long-term partner. They're still together. And the great thing for Jason was this woman, she became an asset to his life because Jason is a business owner. Like he's got a stressful business, so he works a lot, and also he's got his children to look after. And this woman was perfect. Yeah, the woman that he met, she was helping him with his business, like with the admin side of things. Like she was helping him with the children. This was what he wanted. Yeah, he wanted to find a woman that could be a complement to his lifestyle, and he met her through Cold Approach. Even though he'd lost a shitload of life momentum, he lost confidence in himself. He had these worries that what if I can't meet somebody else? What if I'm too old now? What if women are not going to like me because I'm bald? Like all this bullshit going in his head. You can't think your way into confidence. It's what I say to people all the time. You cannot think your way into a confident state, right? You get it through action. So what I would say, the hard reset that I just described, this will resonate. If you've done cold approaches in the past, then what I would say is I would have a 3-day hard reset where you do 10 approaches every single day, back to back to back, 3 days in a row. So let's say Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10 approaches. And I won't, like, sometimes I give people time limits. This is more if you're a beginner. If you're a beginner, it's good to have a time limit on your cold approach session. Otherwise, you end up just walking around for hours talking to nobody. But if you've got skin in the game and you consider yourself more seasoned in the land of street seduction, then what I would say for you is do 10 approaches every day for 3 days, and don't go home until you've done 10 approaches, because the first 3 approaches that I do on any given day, they're just throwaways, they're shit, they don't even count. The analogy that I always use is most guys go home before they've even warmed up, yeah? It's like going to the gym, doing 1 set of lateral side raises, 5 kg, the warm-up set, and then going home after it, crying why your shoulders haven't grown. It's like, that's the warm-up set, dude. So you can't go home until you've done 10 approaches. And this is for guys who just want to get their momentum back fast, okay? The biggest problem that I see with guys who are trying to learn cold approach or relearn cold approach is they just take too fucking long, right? They're just fannying around. You need to go hard and go home, yeah? Intensity. Yeah, this is why when I do my coaching with guys, it's 3 days. Yeah, 3 days of intense one-on-one coaching. You will get pushed into over 100, yes, 100 cold approaches in 3 days. By the end of that, you ain't gonna have approach anxiety anymore. You're not gonna have hesitation. You're not gonna have this negotiation with fear. I'm not saying it is removed forever, but by the end of those 3 days, having done or being pushed into over 100 cold approaches, you'll realize that your limitations were hallucinations. You realize you had way more in the tank than you thought you did. This is a big problem when guys are doing the whole solo grind, is you'll just go home too early. You'll think you're done. I remember I heard it once where a guy was training with Cristiano Ronaldo, and he was like, I didn't realize how hard I trained until I trained with Ronaldo. It's like my entire workout was his warm-up, yeah? This is why getting around guys who are further ahead than you is so crucial. Because if you're just doing this on your own, no feedback, no support, no accountability, no one showing you what you could be, then it's easy to bail on yourself. But I would say, if you have got skin in the game, then have this hard reset immersion where you do 10, 10, 10, yeah? Now, if that feels like a massive jump right now, because maybe you were in a long-term marriage or a long-term relationship, or fuck knows, maybe you've just been wanking for the past year doing nothing with your life. I've been there, don't worry about it. What I would say for you then is just start off a little bit small. It's more about reintegration than results, right? So what I would say is just become Mr. Social. Because remember, this is the thing that pisses me off the most. There's so many retards online, dude. Like when I post videos over on IG right now, guys, they'll comment this retarded shit like, oh, approaching women, oh, it's so creepy. It's like, motherfucker, what is creepy is hanging around grotty nightclubs until 3 a.m. prying on drunk women, right? Daytime call approach is the least creepy way of meeting women, right? It's the daylight, open spaces, lots of people around. It's like these morons, like so many people want to justify their inactivity. So many guys want to justify, they want to put this cloak of morality around them, like, oh, approaching women's wrong. And it's like they're pretending to be respectful, but really, they're just hiding behind a mask of fear. It's like, I'm terrified of being rejected. I'm terrified of putting myself out there, so I'll just virtue signal. I just hide behind this facade, and I'll say, oh, approaching girls creepy, or it's cringe, or it's wrong. It's like, motherfucker, grow some balls, reclaim your masculinity, and get yourself out there. This is what I say to guys. That's my approach to life. If you don't like me, fuck you. So what I would say is just reintegrate yourself into normal social society. Starting conversations with people. Could be the fucking old guy at the bus stop. Hey mate, how are you? How's your day going? He's like, what? You got any change? Then, the barista, people in your gym. Just these like quick fire conversations which teaches your mind it's okay to start conversations with strangers. That's all cold approach is. Yeah? When you boil it down to its base, all cold approach is talking to women who you don't know. Yeah? That's all it is. But I guess even simpler than that is just talking to people, right? The guys who've lost momentum with cold approach, a lot of times they've lost social momentum as well. Because if you have been in a long-term relationship, or you've been married, or you've been in a situationship that it knocked your confidence, maybe it was a controlling relationship, or maybe it was toxic for whatever fucking reason, it was probably down to you to be fair, then I think what's important is just recognizing that you might have not lost just cold approach momentum, you might have just lost life momentum. Do you know what I mean? Because when you feel like a winner, the more you want to win. But I think sometimes, I don't know, I think it's interesting for guys because you might be in a place in your life where you're just in a little bit of a rut. Do you know what I mean? You might just feel a little bit lost. You might feel a little bit directionless. Maybe you're in a business and your business is making money. Maybe you're living in a city and you're hanging around with the same people and everything just feels very samey. Do you know what I mean? You start to suffocate in sameness and everything just feels pleasant. And maybe your life just lacks some excitement right now. So I think something that's great to do as well, if you have lost momentum with daytime cold approach, is what I would suggest is book a holiday to some faraway exotic location and have what I would call a personal renaissance project. Because sometimes I find it's the feeling of aliveness that we're searching for. If life starts to get predictable and comfortable and everything just starts to feel very safe, you almost start to lose your edge as a guy. You almost lose that lust for life that made you successful in the first place. So I think we spoke about having that hard reset, like having an immersive weekend. You could even do it in an alternative playground, right? So go to a location that scares you. Maybe not Karachi, but what I mean by a location that scares you is somewhere that you wouldn't have imagined yourself going. Yeah. It was 2020 something. I was living in Bucharest, Romania at the time. And then I decided to just book a one-way flight to Rio de Janeiro that January. And that scared the living shit out of me. I never imagined myself going to Rio. I heard all the horror stories. As soon as I told my family, it was all this like crabs in a bucket mentality. Oh, you're going to Rio, you're going to get shot. Oh, don't go there. Go to fucking wherever and do whatever. But going to Brazil, it really did scare me. It was an exotic environment that felt way beyond my comfort zone. I don't think Brazil is a beginner environment. If you don't have a lot of experience solo traveling, I don't know. I mean, it's your life. Do what the fuck you want. This is just advice. I might know nothing. The more I learn, the less I know. But I would say that if you feel as though you're in a bit of a rut right now, maybe you're living in London, it's fucking dark, it's depressing. I think it's a great idea to just hop on a flight, a couple weeks from now, get yourself somewhere. Could be in Europe, it could be further afield. But I think that hard reset is great to rebuild momentum, especially if you started to develop this this like thing that we call approach anxiety. You don't have approach anxiety, you're just out of practice, right? If you don't go to the gym for a year, you're gonna get out of physical shape. It's the same with your social skills. You've probably just got out of social shape through inactivity. But sometimes a fear for guys is, if my approaches are shit, I don't really want to do my shit approaches in my home city, especially if you're living in a smaller city. Fuck knows. Maybe you're living in Manchester, or maybe you're living in Leeds like I used to do. These are relatively small cities in comparison to the world stage. And you might have this fear of, you don't want to try and regain your momentum in a city where people might recognize you, or you might end up reapproaching the same women. So what I suggest is just book a one-way flight. Go to fucking Rio, go to Medellin, go to Buenos Aires. Like, go somewhere that scares you. Because I find that I find a lot of guys, you don't have dating problems. You've got personal problems which become dating problems. So I think your willingness to take risks, to take bold action, to reclaim your balls, to reclaim your edge, all this shit goes deeper than day game, right? And I think if you can go somewhere that allows you to recreate an identity and fall in love with your future through relentless repetition, then I think that's a great thing to do to regain your momentum. And you can take all of that feel-good momentum and then integrate it back into your life back home. So I think that's a good idea, where you can have this re-immersion period on foreign soil and then return home like Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. the rebirth. But yeah, I would say, okay, let's say maybe that's not a practical solution for you right now. I'd say step by step, very simple. I'd say watch my videos every single day, because I think when I talk, I think it does reignite a fire inside of you. Do you know what I mean? I think keeping a finger on the pulse is useful. Yeah, so when I speak, maybe some things trigger you. Maybe after hearing me talk, you get inspired to go out and do an approach. So I think like re-emerging yourself into this world again is useful. I say to beginners, when you're first learning cold approach, just be obsessive about it. Yeah, not forever. Like, learn day game. Don't become a day gamer. You don't want to be that low value moron who's just parading around the fucking shopping mall for 8 hours a day, talking to nobody and just regurgitating theory. But for a 90-day period, I think it's great to be obsessed, to watch the videos, listen to the podcasts, read the fucking blog. Just be immersed. Be unapologetically obsessive. Because at the end of the day, cold approach is just a skill. Yeah, it's a skill that many guys, I think every guy wants to master. I think if you ask any guy, honestly, would you like to just be able to approach women anywhere, anytime, like women who walk past you in everyday life? Like most guys want to do it. Like, most guys feel that pull. You're not saying to me, unless you're a fucking hermit, you're not saying that you do not have days where you're walking through your city, or you're going to go return a pair of jeans, or you're going to buy a new fucking dildo. You are not saying to me that you don't see women who you find attractive. You're not saying to me that you don't have this pull, this split-second pull where you think about approaching her and you beat yourself up about not, like, I think it's biologically ingrained into us to find the feminine attractive. There is nothing wrong with wanting to start conversations with beautiful women. Worst case scenario, she feels beautiful. You've left her better than you found her. No one's allergic to a compliment. But I think we live in this epidemic right now of closet heterosexualism, where you get these guys online, they want to virtue signal, they want to throw rocks at creators like me, like, oh, this is wrong, this is creepy, when realistically, dude, you're just fucking scared. And I was scared. Yeah, I was scared 5 years ago when it came to cold approach. I was a broke, porn-addicted loser with erectile dysfunction. I was shit scared to put myself out there, walking out into Leeds on the 4th of July 2020 to do my first ever approach. I was shit scared. I was hiding behind excuses. I was trying to justify emotion with logic. I get it. But when you go through the other side, when you actually realize it goes way deeper than just talking to women, this is really reincarnation. Yeah, it's the removal of the fear, the sedation, the compliance, the thing that keeps so many men stuck in their lives. It really is the removal of everything that isn't you. And I think when you've taken a relentless amount of action with cold approach, that rockstar confidence, it spills into everything that you do. You become more confident at work, people take you more seriously, you walk with more of a swagger, the world gives you more respect. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think if you've had a taste of success with cold approach in the past, then that's a good thing, because it shows what the skill can do for you. But I would say when you are first re-emerging or re-immersing, fuck knows, when you're first putting yourself, when you're first putting yourself back out there again, just focus on getting points on the board. Yeah, especially if you're doing this hard reset where you're doing 10 approaches Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe in your home city, maybe in an alternative city, which is in a different country, or maybe you just hop on a train. Maybe if you live in fucking Swansea, maybe you hop on a train to London or something. I would say this is really where that mindset of the reps are the reward comes into play. Because all you need is just social confidence again. Do you know what I mean? Like, look, if you get a few phone numbers here and there, some girls smile at you, maybe you even get a date. Maybe you even get a conversation that converts into a date. But I think for a lot of guys who are relearning cold approach, you just want to prove to yourself you can still do it. And I know it's scary. Like, I get it. If you might have gone out today and you might have tried to do an approach and you didn't feel like it was you in that approach. It felt like it was your fear doing the talking. Do you know what I mean? And you come out of that approach and you feel, it's like, fuck, I don't feel as though that woman really got to see me. I didn't feel like it was me in that conversation. I felt as though it was my fear talking. But that's all right. Let's say you go out today, you do that, you do one approach. Great. You've got 9 more to do. Yeah? Because the way you start isn't the way you finish. And I guarantee, if you actually honor this and you actually do 10 approaches Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there is no way that you're not going to feel more confident, more socially capable. There's no way that you're going to have these limiting beliefs of, oh, what if I've lost everything? What if I'm never going to be able to regain my momentum? It's like, you could be out of the gym for a year, but that first session back, yeah, it does feel a little bit clunky. Yeah, you're kind of looking in the mirror, comparing yourself to other dudes, thinking, fuck, I've lost some definition in my shoulders. But then it's just that first stepping stone back. I think what's crucial as well, when you are regaining your momentum, make sure you honor the intentions that you set. So if you say to yourself, I'm going to go out Friday and do 10 approaches, and motherfucker, you better do it. Otherwise, that is how your confidence quietly starts to erode. It's when you're breaking promises and intentions to yourself. And this is what I think when guys are first learning the skill, having that crystal clear intention about why you're doing this in the first place is so crucial, right? Nietzsche, he who has a strong enough why can bear any how. So I think what is crucial, whether you are getting back into the game again, you've lost momentum, I think it's so important for you to really define why you're doing it. Do you just want to play the field? Do you want to get a wife? Do you want to get a girlfriend? I think it's crucial that you know why you're putting yourself out there, because there's going to be lots of times where you doubt yourself, where approaches don't go well, where you bail on the conversation, or maybe you're in a conversation and you just feel this like burning impulse to get yourself out of there because you've run out of things to say. It's like, fuck, I feel like a complete beginner again. It's so important for you to understand why you're doing this. It might be to feel more socially capable. It might be to relive your former glories. It might be to prove to yourself that you are still a fuckable man. Whatever your intention is, dude, fucking good luck to you. But I think it's important that you understand why you're going out there. Because I think once you understand the why, it does make cold approach, I think, you're more clinical with your approaches, yeah? Because if you've got an image in your mind of, right, I want to get a girlfriend and she's a 5'8" brunette with a really nice face and a sexy walk, then once you've got those first 30 re-beginner reps out the way, then you can be more strategic. Then you can focus your attention on the women that you really, really want. But I think a lot of guys, they sleepwalk through life and they live like accidents. It's kind of like going to the gym and deciding what body part you're going to train in the gym. It's like, nah, preparation. You decide before you get into the gym what you're training that day. You don't just get into the gym and it's like, oh, that guy's got big legs. Maybe I'll do quads. Oh, that guy's got a nice chest. Oh, fuck it, I'll do chest now. Oh, and then you go onto your phone. It's like this guy with like washboard abs, and you're like, oh, fuck, I need to just go on the fucking treadmill. Yeah, I need to do cardio. So it's like it's a mismatch because you don't have a plan. There's no strategy there. So get clear on what it is that you want, and then just be ruthless, be relentless, have this burning obsession with progression. I think that's a good way for you to regain momentum with approaching. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this, drop it a like. And yeah, I'll speak to you again tomorrow. All right, bye.